Hi, welcome back. If you don't know what happened, I suggest you watch the previous video, but it's been a while since I actually recorded a video in this world. But as you can see, everything's looking a little different. I think they maybe must have added that new dynamic lighting. I thought you would have had to put that on yourself, but maybe for this pack, it just comes with it. So over time, we'll get our animal population quite a bit bigger than it already is, because it's pretty pathetic at the moment. But the idea is to have a pretty steady supply of food. But again, I'd recommend you watch the previous video to see how it was built and also get updated on some other things. But about a week or two ago, I came on the world to do a little bit of off-camera work. I just wanted to replenish our supply of iron and repair my armor and make some pants, because I believe I only had leather pants on before, but now I have a full set and a shield. I also built this anvil here, so that was pretty helpful. But what we're actually going to be doing today is just over on that mountain over there across the lake, not the lake, the river. Across this river here, there is a naturally generated tower, and if I remember correctly, it was full of spawners. You can't actually see it from here. I don't know what's going on, but we visited it in the very first video on this world. I was in no position to try to raid it, so I left it, but I think now we're probably just fine to go in and take a further look. And I was thinking it could be nice to incorporate it into our growing community. So if it is what I think it is, full of spawners, it could make a nice mob grinder. A nice alternative could just be a place to store armor and weapons and even have an enchanting setup. Also, the water looks very different than it used to. It's less stylized and more realistic, but I think it fits with the overall feel. Add-ons and mods, and what you can do with them as well, have really come a long way. But anyway, here we are approaching the tower. And I think I'm seeing what, I don't remember what they're called. They're like the good Vexes. But I think that's one of those up there. And I'm realizing I should have brought more food with me. I've got almost nothing here. Yeah, no, I definitely made a mistake not bringing more. But as long as I'm careful, it should be fine. I've got plenty of torches, so that's good. Don't know what this book is. I think it's just completely blank. Let me get rid of this guy. It's completely blank, but that's a free book and quill. Alright, I am actually hearing pillagers up there, I think. Ooh, that's... I think that was an evoker, but with the texture pack, I can't tell. It wasn't actually doing anything, though. Kind of just murdered him. But anyway, here's a spawner. There's not a creeper spawner up there, is there? I don't want to blow anything up. I mean, I just did, but I want to blow up as little as possible. There goes that. Okay, I just got to charge in there and destroy that spawner. Totally not me forgetting you can place torches and deactivate those. Give me 1 second. This is exactly why I should have brought more food with me. But I think that should be deactivated now. I think we're safe now on this spot. There's nothing in here, so that wasn't overly worth it as far as that goes, but there's still higher to go. So far, nothing. Oh, staircase here. Just get in here carefully. There's another spawner. That's the skeletons, okay. But we're definitely needing light in here. And I'm hearing more illagers. This is not as full of loot as I thought it would be. But I need to find the next staircase. Oh, geez. Okay, those are pillagers. Perfect, that was easy. Oh. Okay, I think there's... Okay, that spawner's definitely not deactivated. I gotta get out of here. Oh. Well, that's one way of getting out. Alright, so it seems like that spawner can't be deactivated. So I'm gonna have to get my stuff back and break it. Oh, jeez. That's new. You gonna drop it? No. That was cool. They've definitely added more stuff since I was last actually active on here. Even since the last week or two, because I was on here doing that off-camera stuff, and it didn't look like this. It was the same as it had been before. So this is very recent. I think it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to get your stuff back before it despawns, so I don't believe I'm in any sort of danger of losing it. I'm gonna have to come back to this. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. As long as I'm quick and careful, I don't think we have to worry. I'm just realizing I should have... Since I was just back at my house, I should have got more food. But my stuff should be right around here. I don't remember which side I died on. Just gonna have to go all the way around until I find it. These clouds are not helping. Oh, here's something. There we go. I think I found it. Yeah. Okay. It's all over the place. I think I have the majority of it. There's a bit more down there, and I think that's everything. I might have lost my last bit of food, though. I'm not seeing it anywhere. But if I get in there and just break that spawner, we should be good. Too bad there wasn't any loot in any of the chests, though. That's really disappointing. Yeah, that's not very fun, is it? There we go. Again, nothing in here. But let's head up to the top. And I think that must be everything. This might be a lodestone. But here we go. Here's the good Vex. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, here's some bread. There we go. Food. Potato. First loot in the whole building. And it's not the best. Salt crystal. Alright, well, we got one chest here. Let's see if there's anything actually worthwhile. Just as I thought. So we'll get this guy out later. I don't really... Well, I guess I could just hand him a potato or something. But this raid was not nearly as worth it as I thought it would be for loot. Given the circumstances, I'm not sure I will be turning this into a mob grinder. There's like 2 spawners, I think. Skeleton and spider. And that's not going to do us very much. I think this would serve us better as an armory and enchantment tower. In fact, this little spot here would be pretty perfect for an enchantment setup. And, I mean, a majority of the thing is already built, so we just have to repair it and redecorate. And we got ourselves a nice new tower. I'm going to take one last look around the place to see if I can find any of my stuff I might have missed. And then I think we're going to prepare to do a little bit of renovating. That's a weird looking dude over there. I don't think I want to mess with him right now. I'm just going to head home. I'm actually just going to head over to this village over here and sleep. Oh, they're both zombies now, sorry. Alright, well, ooh, what are you? Okay, you're like that other guy. Some sort of armored zombie. I've really got to get home now. I am almost dead and I have no more food. But we do have some of what we need to start reformatting that tower. I did find a couple more diamonds off camera. Oh, I also started a bit of reorganizing of our inventory. But we've got 10 diamonds, and that should be enough to make a pickaxe and an enchantment table. But for now, we're going to focus on gathering a little bit more for the tower itself. Most of it is cobblestone and this stone brick. So, if I just head in to our custom mine over here and grab a bunch of stone, we can start cutting it up in the stone cutter. Okay, so I actually ran out my pickaxe, but we do have loads of cobble here. So I think that should be a decent amount to get us started. I might actually have to cook some of this to get the smooth stone, because I think smooth stone is how you get the bricks. Let me look it up. So you do need regular stone. Let me just get some of this in here. I actually don't have much coal left, do I? Alright, well, it's another trip to the mines for us, but I gotta sleep first. So once we have our coal, we can smelt the cobble into regular stone and put it in a 4x4 grid to make stone bricks. It appears this mine shaft is lacking in easily accessible coal, so I'm going to have to go to my alternative spot. Alright, well, I was thinking the coal would be a lot easier to find here. I seem to be wrong. There's a lot of iron, which is nice. I'll actually grab that real quick. But there's still a lack of iron. I mean, coal. My bad. Alright, well, that took longer than it should have. But we finally got an acceptable amount of coal. So I'm going to head back up and smelt that stone. So I'm going to place my bed here so that we don't have to go back and forth between here and the house each and every night. And as far as the renovations go, I think the first thing we should do is get rid of those spawners and fix these gaping holes in the floor. All of the materials I've gathered are going to be just the regular stuff, nothing with any moss on it. I don't feel like going to the trouble of making anything more complicated than it needs to be. Like gathering more moss. So it's going to look a little weird at the moment, but I think some carpet will look nice in the future. So now we've got the place all fully lit up and the floors are no longer a hazard. So I think what I'm going to do now is start patching in the walls and removing these pillars out in the center of the floor. And I think we can probably take these banners down too and recolor them later on. And this hollow bit of the tower that goes all the way up would probably be a nice spot for a water elevator. We're going to have to go get stuff from the nether for that, which I do plan on doing soon anyway, but we're going to keep this pretty much just how it is until we have the stuff for it. Now is a good time to start figuring out where we're going to put everything. So of course our enchantment setup will be on the very top. And I did want to have a sort of armory in here as well. So maybe these first couple of layers can be our armor and weapons. And then as we go up, we go into things like potion making, and perhaps even just some space to store rare and cool items. Actually, a map room could be nice as well. Maybe right below, like in this room, we have the enchantment setup up here, and then right here, we have a map and cartography room. So now that we've done some repairs and we've plotted out most of what we want in each room, I think it's time to do some decorating. Part of that decoration will include a significant number of carpets, but unfortunately, I do not have a significant number of sheep, so we're gonna have to up our wool production. I've actually just realized I got a whole bunch of wool in here. Probably still not enough, but we're a lot better off than I thought we were. So we're off on a good start with 51 carpets. And I'm feeling like dyeing them just a simple red. But the drawback of living in a cherry forest is you don't get much variety in flowers. In fact, as soon as we exit the biome, we've got 4 flowers right here. Sorry, make that 6. Sorry, 5. Nope, that's 6. Okay, so one dye will do 8 carpets. And if I were a bad person, I'd just steal from this tent here. Let's start laying these down and see how much more we may need. Alright, so that covered most of this floor. So we're going to need a few more for here, and then a lot more for the other levels. But I'm feeling more confident that we can start getting a lot more wool. Alright, you've more than likely noticed that up until now, there has been no game sounds in addition to my own voice. That is because OBS is a royal pain in the rear. And despite the fact that I had done multiple tests beforehand to make sure my voice and the game's audio were being properly recorded as separate tracks, it decided to not actually give me the game audio track when I exported the footage to my editing software. So again, for today, I've done some tests to make sure everything's working as it should. If it screws up my audio again, I won't be mad. Just disappointed. As for why I'm deep underground, I'm collecting coal for lanterns that we can light the tower with. But yesterday I was doing some prep work and I discovered that I can now actually make copper lanterns, for which I need copper torches. There are also these really cool copper chests, which could actually work very well for the 2 armory levels of the tower. And considering just how abundant copper ore is, none of that should be a problem. That also means that we can start reserving our iron ore for more important things. I've got some fence posts here so that we can put these lanterns up. And that is already looking tons better. Once we've been to the Nether and collected some glowstone, I think some of that could look good in these crevices here. But for now, we'll just mark those with some torches. With each level now well lit, I'm going to shift my focus back to the carpeting. I still don't have nearly enough to cover probably even this floor right here. And I'm a bit low on sheep at the moment, so I'm going to have to breed those and resupply. One thing I will absolutely have to do, and preferably soon, is build a bridge and an actual staircase up here so that it's not such a pain to get up and down. And so since this will be the map room here, I'm going to lay out the table the map will be on top and then put the carpet around, and that will save us quite a bit. You probably don't want to watch me place every last carpet and lantern, so I'll get all the boring bits like that done off camera and finish this video by setting up these armor stands and copper chests. Next time we'll build that bridge I mentioned earlier, which will make traveling to and from the tower way more convenient. And if there's time, we can probably even begin figuring out where to place our nether portal, which will set us up for traveling to that dimension in a future video.